Hello and welcome to the Outdoor Quad Life. Yes, it is February 25, 2025. Yes, I'm in Iowa. And yes, I'm willingly outdoors making a video. So, 1 week ago today, it was a high of like 5 degrees and wind chills about 20 degrees below zero. Today, the sun is nice and shining, and it's supposed to be up to nearly 60. I don't know what it currently is out here. It's getting close to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but it feels very nice. At least on the south side of the house by the siding here. So I just got a note from the director that it's about 54 degrees. And no, I don't have an earpiece that tells me that. So it is a nice temp out here. And I even had lunch out on the deck. And I can't say I remember doing that much before. So I like days like this and hope for more to be coming. But it's Iowa and you never know what you're going to get. But it is not a box of chocolates. So I want to talk to you about today a book that I recently completed. One that was called 52 Churches. Now, most of the time I read stuff that is Christian apologetics or some, I guess, light theology. And this book was kind of in between the two. But I was given it for Christmas and thought, well, I might as well read it. So the emphasis is that the author volunteers at a food bank and had people ask him about churches in the area. And he didn't really know, so he and his wife took a year to go to 52 churches that were in their area, or one church a week. And he gave evaluations on each one and things he liked and didn't, but a major theme in basically most churches was to have people be more welcoming of visitors. That a greeting crew or even just regular people in the congregation should be more greeting and welcoming to visitors, telling them their names and offering any help for, say, order of worship or things that might not be familiar to someone visiting. So that is all great and good. And at my own church, I know that everyone kind of gets in their groups of friends, and it's harder maybe to reach out to someone that's different or someone new. And so I may try to see if I can pay more attention to that. But I know that I'm often on my own as well, and it's just my parents and I when we have our cookies and juice, which, you know, I'm the odd looking one of the bunch, so people get kind of scared off, I guess, anyway. But that brought something else to mind for me as well, and that a lot of churches do fellowship groups or different types of things where small groups of maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 people will get together for Bible studies or parental support or just any type of gathering that you can think of. But I've noticed that with a lot of places that persons with disabilities like me are often kind of a secondary thought. So living here in small town Iowa, there aren't a lot of other wheelchair users like me around, let alone a bunch in one congregation. So like if I go and join one of the groups, then usually they would need to rethink where they meet and make sure it's someplace that I can get to. And then, of course, in the winter, it's not really a time I can get out very easily. So you might technically be a member of that group, but then you don't really join it that much. So you miss out on whatever fellowship you have with it. And so getting suggestions of like meeting at the person's house that can't get out, that is a possibility, but for some people I know that makes them think at least that they need to thoroughly clean the house every week then, and that gets to be a whole lot of work in itself. So is there a good medium or place in between to include everyone? Yes and no. Maybe offering to meet at a person's house every now and then is okay, but making sure anywhere you go is accessible is a big thing. I think a lot of churches don't really think about people that use a wheelchair, at least that are younger. Yeah, a lot of older members, say in their 70s, 80s, or 90s, need mobility aids like walkers or wheelchairs. But often by that time in life, they aren't getting out much on their own anyway, let alone to church groups. So that's a different demographic, I guess. So the thing I've learned and want to emphasize for anyone that watches this that may be part of an active church that reaches out is make sure to include everybody, and those with mobility impairments, you will need to go to an extra effort, but it is greatly appreciated by those of us that would get to be included that normally aren't, I would say. And even if you have a visitor come to your church that does use a mobility aid or something of that sort, even if it's just a one-off time that they're visiting on a trip or something, then showing the facilities around of, say, where you can park at the church, be it seats that move out, or that you have part of a bench that's cut out for wheelchair seating, just showing accessible restrooms or anything of that sort goes a long ways to help. But that's my thoughts for this week. That was an interesting book. I probably, not one I may read again, but the ones that I do want to read again, I haven't got to them yet either. But before I get a sunburn here in February, now that I've been out for an hour, I need to get my face and feet back inside. So I will talk to you next week, and hopefully I will not be the red face quad life, but we'll see. Bye for now.